Alrighty, and welcome back to Heroes Lounge. I am Bahamut, your caster this evening. On the left-hand side, we're going to be having Pizza Hat, and on the right, we're going to be having Tickle Tassadar. This is a Division 4 matchup. Let's go ahead and get into this, but really quickly, I closed my notebook right when I was going to talk about the actual map bans and such, so let me actually pull up the handy-dandy draft tool that I have that I did not do ahead of time, so let me quickly burn through all of that. Let me just make sure I'm getting this correct. Okay, they did that. Then there was a dragon and then we have this one, and it's going to be that color. All right, so now I can actually show you. I actually did it super late. I apologize. And actually, excuse me, it's that. So the coin flip was won by Pizza Hat. They went ahead and banned out Tomb the Spider Queen. The members of Tickle Tassadar went ahead and then took out... I did that backwards. They did Dragonshire. No, I got that right. Yeah, okay. Sorry, I'm looking at everything backwards. I'm all rushed. And then the map is going to be picked. It is going to be Battlefield of Eternity. So we're going back into the draft. We have a Joanna banned out. We have a Mal'Ganis banned out. No Blind's going to be coming out here, and no Nap Time. Well, they could go for Ana or Decker Kane, but realistically here, we're just going to be seeing these two banned out, and then I would hope that we're going to be looking at some of the Immortal race potential being taken out here, like Greymane, Hanzo. A lot of high priority under those. Like, Hanzo hasn't really changed, and actually, it's not a bad idea what they did right there. Taking out the Artanis, this is a very viable map for him to go ahead and get some burn onto that, and also a strong solo laner here, being able to grab camps and be quite the nuisance in that top lane. Now, last ban here on the side of Pizza Hat. I still say you take out that Hanzo, you take out that Greymane, just even Vala. Like, Vala had a major resurgence on a map like this, being able to go into that Hungering Arrow build, but it's Orphea. We're not going to be seeing any of the new heroes this evening. No Mal'Ganis, no Orphea, but we could see the rework Sylvanas. We could see the rework Stitches, which I haven't played the new Sylvanas yet, but I have played the new Stitches, and I'm having a pretty good time with it. I'm enjoying it, but that is going to be right away the first pick onto the Greymane. I don't blame them at all. Greymane has been historically one of the best heroes for the burn onto this map. When Hanzo had changes come through, a lot of people said that he was just like, oh no, like, just done. He can't be played. But in my opinion, it's more or less his play style has changed, and so you can still definitely pick him up here and run him very efficiently. It's just you can't go and AFK on the Immortal while your team goes and pushes up. It's gonna be a Varian though. We'll have a Varian at Tyrande, so that's gonna be, I would assume, a taunt into a Lunar Flare. That way you have the double lockdown. You can get a burn onto one of the heroes. Greymane already selected on the side of Tickle Tassadar. They could realistically roll into their main support as well as their main tank, and that kind of makes it a little bit harder to ban out against them. They could focus on the solo lane at that point. And so that's going to be the Stitches being picked up, and then I personally say grab your healer here. Grab your... Okay, it's going to be Malfurion. I lean a little bit more towards the Stukov on this map, as well as Alex Straza and Decker Kane. Just, I think the output of healing from them is really powerful. But I think maybe they have the idea to go into... maybe a Li Ming here, so being able to grab the Malfurion and have the return onto the mana is a big factor, and I would actually say ban out the Li Ming. Greymane and Li Ming, as I said historically, like they too run this map really well together, but that's going to be a Malthael for the solo lane, which means that they're going to be leaning into something a little bit more beefy in that solo lane, maybe a Blaze. And here on the side of Tickle Tassadar, I think you just take out... You try and take out their Immortal burn. I think that's realistically the major focus that they should be going after. Well, it's gonna be the Medivh. Sorry, there are a million things going on in a million different Discords. So I'm just making sure that I'm not missing anything like majorly important. Okay, cool. Nah, it's whatever. We will be in this game. So we do have our ban phase already over. Let's go ahead and get back into the draft, as we are going to need solo lane. So the Arthas will be in the solo lane. Actually, well, you could have Varian in the solo lane to be realistic here. But that's going to be a Lunara pickup, and Lunara is... When she had some changes come through a long time ago, with her Nature's Culling being moved to 4, there was a lot of talk about her being extremely viable on this map for the burn that she can offer. But still, I think that there's still just she kind of sits in that like that fourth place for me. Like it's pretty much like Greymane, Vala, Hanzo, Lunara. Not any, well, Lunara in that spot, but the rest of them kind of fluctuate. Comes down to skill. But we're going to be getting a Sonya for the solo lane, and then a Sylvanas to help push and to lock down some towers. So they're really looking to do a lot of push and work in this matchup here, and that is a butcher. Oh man. Okay. All right. I'm for it. I'm all about it. A butcher. It's not like they have the lowest health pool targets in the world. There are some things to kind of slow down the process of chasing into this. I'm not sure how I feel about this butcher. I mean, if they stack it up, that'll be absolutely awesome. These drafts are fun. I agree. These drafts are extremely fun, Kaimo Tripson. How you doing, my friend? Thanks for swinging by. Thanks for the games earlier, as well as Kage and Stark. Thank you all for being here. Also, major shout out to Kage, who is doing all of our observation this evening. We haven't... Oh man, I was about to say... No. Well, never mind. Well, we got, in my opinion, one of the best observation in Heroes of the Storm joining us this evening. So we are going to be having him move the cameras around so I can just sit here and enjoy and give you guys all the juicy details. But looking at the two teams, names aside, teams aside, everything aside, just purely based on draft on this map, I personally give it over to Tickle Me Tassadar. I think that their draft is well-rounded. I think it's got a lot of good synergies. At the same time, I mean, the Butcher, if they lock down a single member, Butcher can do a ton of work. But we'll find out here as we have loaded into the game. On the left-hand side, we are going to be having a Pizza Hat with Namdor on the Varian. We're going to be having Isolation on the Lunara. I Dupe for You is going to be on the Butcher. Pat's Fan is going to be on the Tyrande, and Bloody or Not is going to be on that Arthas. And on the right-hand side, we're going to be having Tickle Me Tassadar with Caesarion on the Sonya. We are going to be having Old Pro on the Stitches. We're going to have Bickle on the Malfurion. Nikki Santero, who's going to be on the Greymane. Also, shout out to Reedsville Gazette, because I do believe he was on them. And then we'll have Ammonia on the Sylvanas. Let's go ahead and... I actually got to play with them last night, and Ammonia was on Sylvanas, and it was terrifying. But let's look at some level 1 talents here, as we are going to be having Sylvanas go into the Overwhelming Affliction, and Stitch is still holding that level 1. I'm wondering if they're going to go into the basically the Savor the Flavor talent. Oh, they're going to be going for Patchwork Creation. Okay. I was curious if they're going into the questing talents or if they're going to be going into... Because, like, the regen globes aren't going to be the easiest to collect on a map like this. They're not doing rotations. Hots isn't dead, you're dead? Ooh. Oh, sorry, I missed the what Heroes Lounge hasn't heard Hots is dead. Hots is not dead at all. Don't you start with me on that. It's only dead if we let it die. That's my 2 cents about everything. It's literally like Hots will die if the entire community gives up on it. Otherwise, we're just gonna go back to before we had HGC, where we had to do everything ourselves, which that's what's just gonna be. But let's talk about the game. Let's get into this. We can talk about that another time. And now we just have bottom lane. As I'm just like, yeah, we won't talk about it. We'll talk about the game. And it's just like, well, it's just realistically, it's just laning. People just waiting for that, 2-minute 30 to go grab their camp on the right-hand, left-hand side. We can, though, point out that Butcher is sitting at 13 out of the 150 stacks or so. Ooh, Old Pro gonna get caught here. There is going to be the charge from the Butcher. They're gonna be trying to get more of those stacks. The slam will go out. Bloody or Not will get hooked at the last second. Old Pro could have gotten knocked out there, but it's not gonna be happening. Sorry, I have to it's 200 stacks, not 150. I think I just like went in between Nazebo's and his, or I don't know. I did some weird averaging in my head. Bloody or Not are gonna go ahead and Hearth back at this time. We do have the Abomination themselves looking for that Shark. Looking for a hook. Maybe Pat's Fan is the option, but they do have the Sentinel out, so they do know that it's going to be easily scouted out. And they move on to this Isolation. Pat's Fan, they have their whole team. They will take out that one minion. I'm waiting for the mercenary like play here. What's the game plan? Are they going to be trying to push into this hard? Yo, what's up, Zuros? Thanks for coming by. They could try to invade onto this. Looks like Old Pro is going to be trying to get on, but it's not going to be enough. They do get the slam out. That is going to be the Lunar Flare connecting as well. No kills, though. Nikki Centuro is going to go ahead and also pick up this Bruiser camp on the right-hand side, so bottom should get cleared out fairly easily. Nikki will have to get the Hearth out, and then we will have Sonya in top lane pushing this up a little bit. And that is going to be that Twin Blades Varian, which I didn't want to say it because I really wanted it, but yeah, we got a Twin Blades Varian on our hands, my friends. Oh, and this Butcher is all slams, too. It's like Hamster or Chop Meat at 1, and then we're going to be having Flail Axe at 4. 31 out of the 200 stacks. Looks like Lunar is going to be going to that Nature's Calling as well. Varian with the Twin Blades might be something that's worth worrying about, but at the same time, there is going to be that Greymane who you can see is doing a lot of great work for the team here. Bottom lane will need to be cleared out at some point. It isn't too far pushed in. Top lane, though, is fairly pushed into the gate, and it's already getting value for the team. We'll see if they're gonna invade onto this, and this is pretty much just the burn sides, and they can go for the burn, but they want to take the fight on the side of Pizza Hat. I can't not say the name like that. It's so good. Triple stun coming out from Pat's fan. They're going to be trying to get a kill here, and that will be the stun coming out as well. We're going to have an Old Pro getting really low here. I don't know if they're going to be having a way to get out. That will be Sylvanas with the Banshees, but Stitches will be the first kill of this game going over to Pizza Hat. Lunar Flare going to be connecting while Greymane gets the clear onto the bottom lane, and this is exactly what they needed. I mean, they saw Greymane go down for that clear, and they're just like, all right, well, let's take a fight. Butcher and Windblades, I approve of this memery. I agree. I mean, out of everything that happened today, let's get a Butcher variant Twin Blades as Sylvanas is going to go down. The lockdown and the follow-up stunts from Lunar was huge. Nikki is the next target here, and I don't think he's going to get out. Butcher getting fed up. 91 stacks out of the 200 necessary. We also, I just want to point out that we have Malfurion going into Vengeful Roots. Right, it's Vengeful Roots? Yes, and just currently sitting at 5 stacks. So little Broccoli going to come out and play. Old Pro maybe getting caught out here. Just going to get slowed and poked, and that is going to be the Immortal going down in favor of the members Pizza Hat. That'll go straight into the top lane. Sony's going to be trying to grab this camp that will allow some deep pressuring. We have 6 to 6, but about, yeah, it's going to be 7 to 6. Not too far off, though. On the side of that, we do have the hook going out onto Butcher, but they just kind of disengage from this. They don't really dive onto it. They don't have the kind of the same lockdown and single target damage that we're seeing coming out from the members of Pizza Hat. Bathe in the battlefield of blood. Exactly. They siege into this top lane. They're going to get quite the value here, actually, as the Immortal is still fairly healthy. Bloody or not is going to get hooked in, slowed, and the slam isn't going to do a ton for them. Currently have Stitches actually going into Chop Chop at level 4. We'll see where they're going to pick up at 7 here, as Nikki has rotated up as well. Dupe for you is going to be trying to get the charge in there for a second. Nice double Lunar Flare going to be coming out. Bloody or not, and a couple members getting a little bit low, but that will be periodic catapults and experience gain for the members of Pizza Hat. And speaking of experience gain, I know this is something that we don't get to see very often in games, and I'm trying to be more and more I'm trying to use this tool as much as possible, because showing where the experience is coming from, I think, is a big factor of how these experience changes came into the game, and understanding them as a player yourself. So I'll try and pull up the experience data as much as I can, just to make sure that everyone at home understands and sees, like, yeah, these, you know, where the major factors are. Like, for example, since the casting of last week and this week, I've been kind of watching the experience and how it's coming through, and the big thing that I've noticed at this point, passive after getting the forts and towers, or forts and keeps, that's the big one, and then hero kills, but it's like post 4-ish, like that's really when the hero experience starts to trickle in your favor. We can currently see that there's about a 3k difference, and that's mostly coming through that passive, which has got about a little bit in there, but then also a large chunk of that is that hero, those hero deaths, 1,600 roughly going over in favor on the side of Pizza Hat. That's going to allow them to get a lot of value there. We can also, oops, I gotta rememorize all my keys. I apparently forgot them after BlizzCon. Though, we have an Immortal spawning here in just a moment. That is going to be bottom lane pushing in a little bit more as well. I can show you some of the damage numbers on top of that. 10 should be on the cusp for the members of Pizza Hat. We'll see what they go into here, if this is going to be the Furnace Blast from the Butcher, or if it's going to be the Lamb of Slaughter. Even then, I actually am more interested if Arthas, I think it's, I'm trying trying to remember his name off the top of my head. Bloody or Not. There we go. Ooh, Nikki Santero can get caught out here, and I don't think they're going to have an out. Sonya with the spear in might be the way, but that is going to be the Lamb of Slaughter, and that's going to get the kill into the Greymane. So we do have that. No, okay, Arthas holding 10. Do we get Sindragosa? Chat, please, please, please tell me we're about to get Sindragosa. I want it. I need this today. But that will be the first Immortal half going over in favor for Pizza Hut. They do have the burn onto this really, really quickly. And now they just run over to the other side, and I don't think Tickle Me Tassadar can really respond to that, so they're just going to go ahead, let that go. That's a smart move. Just de-push your lanes, because the pressure's going to be coming into bottom, so you don't want top lane stacked up too far. I love the charge from Butcher just to get around there a little bit quicker. But I really like their plays at this point. That's really what I want to hit on, is making sure that top lane is pressured back the way it is. Actually, Sonya's really far out. And oh my god, Mind Control and Leap? And Arthas still holding 10. Arthas, there it is! We got it! Stream, we got it. We got Leap as well. Like, we're gonna hear Sonya just like in that backline, like, oh, and just slam on the ground and get a nice little kill, hopefully. Meanwhile, though, they are still in that top lane, so they're just gonna be trying to split soak this and keep the experience. Not too different here. Sindragosa is going to be coming out. They dive on to the Malfurion, and that's going to be the Malfurion going down. Butcher sitting at 181 stacks out of the 200 necessary, and if they can get another kill, that might be exactly what they need here. That is going to be the fork going down in bottom, some more passive experience in their favor. Nice Howling Blast coming out from the Arthas, and now they can siege in this top lane, or in this bottom lane, in this keep front gate, and you can see that they still have all of that up, and now they have the Gorge onto Bloody or Not, but that's also going to be the Land of Slaughter onto the Stitches of Silence, and everything's going to be there. They don't get the kill, and they are 188 out of 200. I really just want to see... I'm kind of excited, like a fully stacked Butcher, like they stopped playing super safe. It's like Medivh after getting the 40 stacks of the Arcane Rift. Once you see that, they're just like, oh, I can play hyper aggressive, and I'm going to now. But that will be the Immortal burning through a fort and a keep with the help of the Sindragosa. Let's be real here. It was Sindragosa value. Combo Tripson, exactly. The memes, sometimes memes succeed. Immortal going to be going down, just taking down the shielding. Won't be getting any of the damage onto the core. Lunara is going to be pushing up the top lane, and now they can go for that camp, and it's 12 to 11, and 13s are on the cusp, and they could go for a fight, but it's way too quick, or way too risky. And it's not like 13s are like this huge, gigantic talent tier that everyone's gonna just like, oh man, you got 13s, like that's it. Like, I think, in my opinion, like, level 4 and level 13 are very equivalent. Like, these are some talents that you can have, but they're not gonna be like the defining factor. I mean, there are some heroes, for example, Windblade's Variant, that is a huge defining factor. But 16, I feel like 16 it's at least in my opinion, it's like the third best talent tier. You've got level 10, you got level 20, and you got level 16. Like those talent tiers are such big boosts. And I don't know why, but 16 talent tier always seems like some teams can just literally turn the game around once they hit that 16 talent tier. They're like, I got everything I needed. Now we can fight properly. I'm a real hero. But top lane has been de-pushed. They also have the camp that was cleared out, and this is all that they really need to do on the side of Pizza Hut. Just pressuring up the lanes. They don't need to play too far out. They don't need to play hyper aggressive. Maybe they can catch them in a bad rotation. And the Wisp is actually trying to do a good job of scouting that out. We are going to be having that just above them here. They can send that out a little bit more and make sure that they find a flank. But Sonya will be in that top lane. They can see that due to the fact that she is on the minions. The Lunar Flare will connect on the Stitches. 9 more stacks for that Butcher. They're getting close. Every heroic is off cooldown as well. It's that super tense time on Battlefield of Eternity. Like, this is we're in that really tense area of BOE. Bruiser Camp is going to be it's going to go up, but they're going to instantaneously burn through this. They don't even really need to zone on this. That will be grabbed real quick before they can even respond. Old Pro not even going for the hook at this time. And they move over to the Immortal, and they can definitely get the burn of this. I mean, with the Hunter's Mark, the Huntress Mark, they have Isolation as well as Bloody or Not. And even then, I duped for you with 193 stacks. How hard is this Butcher hitting really quick? He is hitting for 322 in auto. So, yeah, that's That's kind of where we sit right now with the Butcher stack. And that's not even fully complete. The hook will go out. That is going to be a nice route underneath the Varian. Protected, by the way. Mind Control will come out. Curse Bullet as well. Varian goes down. That's a big pick for the members of Tickle Me Tassadar. They're going to move up here. The Lunar Flare was doing... oh my god. Leaf connecting onto a couple here. I Dupe for You is going to try and catch them. And that's going to be Butcher going down. They don't have full stacks, but that is going to be Sonya in response. Sindragosa, I think they were trying to summon it there, but it actually got canceled out because of the Gorge, I think, from Stitches. That is going to be a nice cleanse coming out, but I don't think they're going to be able to live. Stitches goes down. Fully shielded Immortal in favor for the members of Pizza Hat, and that will go through top lane. Already Catapult's pressuring that lane too. 2-for-2 trade during all of that. Varian already up. 6 seconds on the Sonya. Oh, Sylvana's getting out with just barely any health. Nice root going to be coming out. Sindragosa as well. They will get that onto the fort. Curse Bullet will go out. I don't think it connected onto anyone there. And the keep is actually going to be locked down, and I think they should be able to get this with the Immortal. The Butcher is coming back. Not fully stacked just yet, but a little bit of a pushback after that kill, which was a nice play. Kind of slow that momentum down. But that will be the Immortal pushing through this top fort, and that should confirm it, and they'll back out. They don't really want to push too hard with this. They got everybody and everything, and it's 16-14. They've got a talent tier advantage. They can, and they got the Immortal. They can really push into this. Bloody or Not on the side, gonna go ahead and take out the well. Okay. They're not going for the fight. So they just back out of here. Play it safe. No risky plays at this time, and move over to probably the top lane camp. They've also got the camp on the left-hand side, and they've probably got, I think till like 6 minutes 30 in the game. Or 16 minutes 30 in the game until they have the next alert. And now it's just rotate and get Butcher stacked up, but the lanes are usually so far pushed out, there's no point in going that far, so they have to bank on getting some hero kills or waiting for the lanes to, like bottom lane, crash quite a bit, and bottom lane doesn't have enough minions, does it? I don't think it has 15 in it. No, it's got half of the amount he needs. But they just want camp pressure. They don't want to fight. They don't need to fight. They're just like, we're just gonna put pressure across the map. You'll have to respond to that, and then maybe they can go for a flank or something aggressive. But almost everything is off cooldown. I'm wondering if they're gonna be able to try and push it with this, or if they're gonna be waiting for the next Immortal. They're all stacking up for this. 17-15. They want to make an aggressive play. Now's the time to do it. They gotta go quick. Immortal's announced. I was way too early on that call of mine saying 16:30. I'm waiting with bated breath. I'm watching this, and they've got a Wisp in top, which top lane's gonna win out every single time because they've got no catapult pressure against them. They're feeding this wave in, and they want to try and end with this. Bloody or Not stepping up a little bit. That is going to be the Lunar Flare connecting. They have the Howling Blast on top of that. Hook goes out, but it doesn't connect. And they back out of here. Yeah, they push up the wave. They say, all right, well, we bought some time. The Immortals have spawned. They move over to the Immortals. Tickle Me Tassadar, I believe. I believe in it too. It's Battlefield of Eternity. They've got 16 talents here. They've got an even way to fight this. Hook. Oh, no hook yet. I was expecting the hook out first to try and maybe grab one of these members right in between them. Unfortunately, they ended up going to the Pulverize at level 16, so getting that extra slow. The Mind Control will be going out to the Arthur, so they're going to try and pull them back. The Butcher's going to be trying to find their way into that backline, and they get the Lamb Slaughter, and there's so many members. That will be Sonya going down first here. Bickle could be the next one to go, and that will be confirmed. And now we also have the Butcher sitting at one. There's the 200 stacks. Butcher is fully stacked up. You have the Glowing Blade. Hook will go out, and Isolation so low. Nikki Centuro will be getting some nice bursts onto them. They do go down to the poison over time from the Stitches. The Gorge just go out onto the Butcher as well. Sindragosa to slow them down. That will be the pick onto Stitches, and they can maybe even move on to Nikki, and I think that's the game plan. They try and get some burst and maybe get a kill onto Pat Fan. Not gonna happen, and realistically, with the death timers where they are and how pressured up the lanes are, they could just rush straight to core, clear out these waves, and just hit it. I mean, a Butcher hitting, he's got 240 stacks. Like, he hits hard as heck right now. Like, this is not where you want to be. All they have to do is win the video game. That is very true, Kylo Tripson. All they have to do is just win the video game instead of Tickle Me Tassadar. Unfortunately, they're going to be having Pizza Hat trying to win the game as well. Butcher going to have that charge in, and I think this is going to be a dead Malfurion. More stacks going over to the Hungry Boy. That's going to be Leap going out. They're going to try and spin to win through this, and that does buy them the time that they need. And now, Sylvanas gets the kill. That is a fully shielded Immortal. 17 minutes into this game. Starfall does come out. That is going to be the Curse Bullet as well. That is going to be the Varian diving out, and Twin Blades dives onto him and gets the pick. Meanwhile, Catapults and bottom lane are going to be doing everything they can. Old Pro is going to try and get the clear onto this, and they move through top lane with this Immortal, but this is a hard spot to be in. They've got 4 seconds on their Malfurion, 32 on their Sylvanas, 40% on their core. This is going to be a hard defense. We'll see what they're able to do with this. This Immortal will attack from range, but it is chunking already with these teams. Greymane going to try and dive in and get a little bit more damage out, but that is going to be game number 1 going over to Pizza Hat. GG. Well played. All right. We got our second game here. Let's load into this. On the left-hand side, we're going to be having Pizza Hat, and on the right, we're going to be having Tickle Me Tassadar. This is a Heroes Lounge Division 4 matchup. And before we get into the actual bans for this actual game, let's actually talk about the bans that happened beforehand. And the coin, if you missed it and you came into this game a little bit late, the coin flip was won by... Sorry, I'm just making sure my internet's not literally going out. No, we're good. The coin flip was won by Pizza Hat. They went ahead and banned out Tomb of the Spider Queen. Dragonshire was then banned out by Tickle Me Tassadar. And first map was chosen by the members of Pizza Hat. That is going to be Battlefield of Eternity and won by them. And the members of Tickle Me Tassadar deferred for first pick. So that means that map choice once again went over to Pizza Hat. And they chose Volskaya Foundry for our second game of the evening. Let's go ahead and bring it back to draft, as we do have a Mal'Ganis once again being removed. And I'm trying to catch up on Twitch chat as well at the same time as talking about draft. I credit that skin for 65% of my Jaina win rate. Wait, you said all of them, though. Don't make me watch a replay. You know I'll do it. Replays are the best. Alright, so we are going to be having a Decker Cane banned out as well as the Mal'Ganis. So this map has a different kind of style that we were on Battlefield of Eternity. This is very, very... Pay attention, please. No, I have trouble because you guys are so entertaining. Also, for me, Zul Rules and Ulysses has the exact same color name, so I was like just reading the message assuming it was the same person, not realizing that it's 2 different people chatting. So my apologies on that one. I was just like, what? Which do you use? That's the one you see me always use. Why would you? Okay, never mind. It's a long day for me, but they do not want to deal with the Medivh on the side of Tickle Me Tassadar. That is going to be their second ban. This other ban, though, is going to be... My Large Lad is going to be removed. We aren't going to be seeing Azmodan here. Probably one of the best heroes in the game, just saying. But this first pick... They go right into that Orphea. Okay. Not a bad idea. Orphea's been known to show some really good promise in a lot of these games. Zorils. You two just baiting me all just the entire time. Stukov first pick, though. It kind of shows, like, this map you can go into a lot of different styles of play. You can go into the aggressive dive and go for that single target burst. You can go for just the overall team fight and have a ton of sustain. Or you can go into control composition. And we're kind of seeing that here. Mephisto. Mephisto is decent poke, but out of all the mages that are out, I really don't... I don't have the biggest kind of... I'm not sure what the word that I want to use here. I'm not the biggest fan of Mephisto in some of these competitive games because I feel like Mephisto is very much a win more hero. If you're winning, he's extremely good for your team. But when you're losing, he doesn't have a lot of good disengages. He doesn't have a lot of good ways to get out of a hairy situation. And I think that's part of his playstyle as well. It's very much, he's very aggressive and you need to make sure that you're getting that value with aggression. It's not like Greymane who, you know, you can use, you can roll away and have eyes in the dark for a disengage and completely get out of there. This is one, he's fine. It's not amazing. Miss, come here. How is that not amazing? I mean, you make a good point. Ulysses, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that. you can know when all the Heroes content happens, because it will all be on this channel. Just let me go write an email to Blizzard really quickly. After I told Blizzard that I hope they step on a Lego for removing the HGC. Like that was my like. I hope you like whoever voted for that. Like, I hope you get coal for Christmas. Something. Just you're mean. You're a bad person. That's my recount of the current situation. All right, so we're gonna be having the Tyrande and the Thrall on the side of Tickle Me Tassadar, and we do have a Diablo and a Garish band out from both these teams. Joanna will be the next pick, and that is gonna be a Maiev as well. I don't care why I was. It's okay. Now you are, and now you know when I go live. But Joanna is going to be really, really strong. Some really good setups for the team with Condemn, as well as the slows that are going to be coming out from her Punish. Maiev is then able to get a lot of value with that Armable Bind. So it's, as I said, it's a lot of good control coming out from the members of Pizza Hat. They're going to be able to kind of put the fight in the way that they want. And I don't know how I feel about this, because all right, so they had Thrall already picked. Melee damage. They had the Joanna the other team. Like, I 100% expect a Cassia here. I realistically, like, I wholeheartedly expect, they still need a solo lane though, so that does put them at a disadvantage. And the reason I'm saying Cassia is because the blinds. Make it, because they have Murden, Sonya, Thrall, Tyrande, all auto attack based heroes. It's gonna be Arthas once again. Okay. That reindeer mount is amazing with the Jaina skin though. I gotta say, I was watching Miss Bauer's stream today, and I think she had the unicorn mount with Murky. That one was really good. Like unicorn, the toy unicorn that like just runs around like an actual toy. I like. There's some things that like for example, like the new Stitches, the way he sounds with the bear costume. I do not like how his voice sounds, but at the same time, I really, really like that skin. And so like there's like these like dualities with a lot of the stuff that came out, and like I absolutely love that unicorn, but I absolutely hate that I spent 2,400 shards on that Stitches skin, and now I'm like, cool, I have no shards to buy anything else. And I know I have a couple of loot chests too, and I just know if I open one, I'm going to be getting a Stitches skin, and it's probably going to be a duplicate too, and I'm just going to sit there and just be sad. But my skin problems aside, I guess my in-game skin problems aside, let's go ahead and get into this. On the left-hand side, we are going to be having Pizza Hat up one game, trying to close out this best-of-3 series with Dinkles on the Stukov. We are going to be having I Dupe For You on the Mephisto, Pats Fan going to be on the Arthas, Bloody or Not going to be on the Joanna, and Isolation on the Maiev. A lot of role swaps there. And then on the right-hand side, trying to even out this series, take us to that game number 3. We're going to having Tickle Me Tassadar with Caesarion on the Sonya once again. We are going to be having Nikki Santero on the Thrall. Bickle will be on the Tyrande. Old Pro on the Murden. And Anaman on the... oh my god, Orphea. My mind just drew an absolute blank. Exactly. Were you playing Stitches last game? GG. Was I? I was not. Oh. Baha tilted my team last night with the Stitches voice lines. Yes, I did. I did that because I needed everyone to hear them and understand my pain. But let's go ahead and get into this. Let's pull up some talents. Let's look at some level 1s here. Just skimming through at this point. Nothing really out of the ordinary. We are going to be having Thrall going into the Crash Lightning, meaning that they're going to be trying to brawl as much as possible. Makes sense because they're going to be in that rotation between mid and top. Meanwhile, we do have the Arthas and the Sonya in that bottom lane. That absolutely makes sense for the solo lane matchup in this situation. It's going to be a slow one. Definitely going to be a slow one between these two teams. So we're going to focus on these rotations between these lanes. This is where all the fun is. And actually, Thrall going to be staying up here for a while. Maybe the Echo of the Elements might have been in a better direction. We'll see how that works out. This is a map where like I feel like once this came out, Thrall actually saw a huge resurgence. I agree. Start Crash Lightning being picked up. And this is actually the map where a lot of, when Volskaya Foundry came out, a lot of people started picking up Thrall. This is also where we started seeing heroes like Gazlo and Sylvanas because of the fact that they had the 60% buff to with their Merc Lord, and that actually affected the, I don't know if it affects the Biotic Emitter, but it definitely affects the fortification camps. That's big because you can output 60% higher damage with a turret that has a really, really high damage per second on it. Oh no, lightning of the trash. That's a way to call it. Sorry. That caught me so off guard. We also do have that Umbral Bind at level 1 for the Maiev, so they're going to be looking to get multiple targets with, Bonds of Justice. They're going to be looking to get multiple targets with their Umbral Bind. We do have both camps being picked up just about simultaneous here. And they do have that Thrall making sure they pick up that extra slack in that bottom lane, but left side's going to be a little bit slower. There's some pings for help, but they're able to do it. Stukov is going to have those auto attacks that hit like an absolute bus. And now we already have top lane pressure coming in with this camp as well. These teams are cycling around this map so quickly. I'm like, I get a sip of water and I look back at the minimap and everything is completely different. They're just, I love that the way these teams are playing it kind of aggressive as Isolation is looking to get a couple stacks on that Bonds of Justice that will be the Vault of the Warden to make sure they don't get caught by that Lunar Flare. And now it's the setup for the point. Bottom lane is probably just going to be battled out and they're just going to be able to take the booster conveyor belt right into that A point. But Pats fan's falling a little bit low here. They don't have an out. This is a dead Arthas. It should. Oh, the death coil at the last second to make sure they have that healing to get out of there. That was a smart play by them. Skimming through some of the questing talents as well. We are going to be having Arthas. I do not know his talents off the top of my head. Eternal Hunger is at 7 out of the 10. Stacks necessary. We also do have those lunar flares coming out from the Tyrande. Seems to be the choice, and I'm like waiting with bated breath a little bit here. They are going to be trying to get onto this Maiev. Vault of the Warden will be coming out. I Dupe for You is going to have the Lightning Nova to get some damage out as well. They do have Pats fan back at this time because of the fact that the death timers are super low. Nice double root coming out with that Howling Blast. They are going to be trying to move on to this. Condemn pulls a couple members in. Lightning Nova getting some decent damage out. Double Lunar Flare going to be connecting onto Pats fan. They get the chomp, and that will be the kill onto Arthas. Isolation, the next one to go. And a lot of good damage coming out from this Orphea, who got another little pick onto the Dinkles. And now I Dupe for You has that Shaded Mephisto to step out and get a little extra workout, but not going to be getting a kill. And now, sitting at 52%, they reset on the side of Pizza Hut while Tickle Me Tassadar sits on the point, gets themselves set up here. I sure hope Jinxie Cat isn't watching right now. I sure hope she is, because I'm hoping that she saw the last game Sindragosa. That's what I like. I'm a happy boy. I got to see a Sindragosa game. If only like there was an Asmodee in this game and it didn't get banned out, that'd be super cool. But we are going to be having another little breakout before this overtime is determined. Actually, we have Sonya going in. A huge Bonds of Justice going out onto a couple members there. They will get 3 stacks onto that. Meanwhile, they're trying to poke onto the backline. Patsman is trying to make sure they don't get that flank. A lot of members starting to fall low here on the side of Tickle Me Tassadar. Bickle is one maybe to go down. Old Pro is another. Oh, but Sonya, the first one to actually go down in this fight. The first kill for the members of Pizza Hut in this game. Now they grab this point, and the thing is they still have to get 99 to, they have to get 100%. Cindy did show up. Cindy did show up. What I love about that is, I think Tuesday night I was casting a game and someone picked up Sindragosa, and chat said, replace the HGC time. I mean, that's why I'm here. Trogdor Burninator. Also, hello. Thank you for coming by. Hope you're having a good night. But we do have a bit of a brawl breaking out. They are going to be trying to go into Old Pro at this time. Not going to confirm the kill. They are sitting at 60% and climbing on the Trigla Protector. Isolation a little bit low here. Going to maybe have to tap that well. And they need to set themselves up for one big YOLO community hot scene. I think it's always been like that for the community hot scene, but we have Old Pro getting a little bit low here. They are starting to work their way onto that Murd, and you can see that's the target. Isolation trying to get a couple stacks onto that Bonds of Justice at level 1. They are going to be getting 1 at least, and they move on to Old Pro, who gets low. Shaded Mephisto going to be stepping out, getting that kill. Pats fan so low, but they aren't able to find the damage just yet. Oh my god. Arthas does go down there right at the end. They are going to be having that Lightning Nova out from I Dupe for You, and just quickly just to note some of the damage numbers that have been coming out from these members. Bickle is so low, they do get the auto, and that will be the kill. Mephisto sitting at near 20k hero damage, but at the same time, Orphea, 26k. This is a little risky for Orphea to be stepping out like that, but they don't go for it. When does Season 3 of Bush League start? I honestly think it's like soon. So if you wanna do Bush League, get in their server and start talking to people, because I definitely think the Bush League season starts pretty soon. I know I have people talking, like I've been talking to people, and they're gonna determine their map order fairly soon here as well. I personally hope they do all maps so that way I can make people play on Blackheart's Bay. But anyways, we got this. We got this game. they open up mid a little bit. They're going to move through top lane. This is pretty much the standard that we see from a lot of these teams. They want to take out the well, make sure they open this up, and so it's a little bit harder for them to get on to fight over the next objective, since their lane sustain is taken out here. And if they can take out the fort, that'll be even bigger. Meanwhile, in bottom lane, Arthas is going to get bodied, I guess you could say, by the Sonya. And while we can see the level 10 talent pickups, let's go ahead and also show everyone at home where the minion, or where the experience is coming from. And you can see that the major chunk between the two teams is minions. We're looking near 1,500 in that. The Unstoppable used the right time there to make sure that they aren't going to be storm bolted. I'm looking at, oh, no Cinder Ghost in this game. It's just going to be Army the Undead. No Leap either. It's just a sad day. It's just a boring game of HOTS. We are going to be having the, I'm trying to remember. It's not Durance of Hate. Durance of Hate is the one that he shoots out. It is, oh god, I'm going to look at it and be like, oh yeah, it's that. Consume Souls. Okay. Consume Souls for the Mephistos. They're going to be looking for that double reset. We also have the Massive Shove coming out from the Stukov. That is going to allow them to have a nice big single target disengage onto some of these enemies. That's a nice play for them. And if they can maybe push back the Arthas, or they can push back the Stuk, or excuse me, they can push back, I was looking at the wrong side of the map right there. They can push back things like the Muradin or even the Tyrande, so there's no healing out. That'll be a major gain for them in a lot of these fights. Bush League Esports is my new HGC. All right, I'll be casting it. I'll be casting like every amateur scene, because that's always been the game plan. Also, Trogdor, thank you so much for the follow during this game. I appreciate that, my friend. I just don't have alerts off during games, just so we don't get, you know, distracted from the game. I don't know if people actually want those on or not. Pat's been getting a little bit low here. Sorry, I'm way distracted this evening. We do have I Do For You gonna get caught out. The Jaws coming out as well. Blessed Shield saves them though. Bloody are not able to get that Blessed Shield out in time, and they weren't able to finalize the kill after that Crushing Jaw pickup. That was a huge play coming out from Pizza Hat to save their Mephisto. That was a good, I just jaw on my desk for that one. We do have this Biotic Emitter camp that seems to be what they want to go for. The nice Massive Shove to make sure Old Pro can't get onto them. And Bickle will be picking up the Biotic Emitter. And looking at the timer, I think we should be nearing the Point B Triglav Protector phase fairly soon. So we should see maybe a left side camp being picked up in favor for the members of Pizza Hat, so they can at least have that top lane pressure. The Warden's Cage going to be coming out, but unfortunately they just catch a minion. Another thing to note too, just going through some of these level 1 towns, we do have 20 out of the 30, if I'm not mistaken, stacks for Crash Lightning. Yes. And then we also have 31 out of the 40 of the, it's like Mind Domination? Mind Devour for the Orphea. Do I like seafood? I'm not a big fan, but oh, I will answer that afterwards. Sorry, we have a fight breaking out as we are going to be having pick on to Stukov. I Dupe For You is going to be trying to get some damage out, but that was the Crushing Jaws of all that. I got so thrown off by the question of seafood, I missed the entire fight. But no, I do not eat seafood. I've just never really cared for it. I've tried so many times. I worked in a sushi place for a year, and it's just like it still never latched onto me, like the desire to eat it. I don't know. Just one of those things. Fight, though, going to be breaking out fairly soon. We do have our Stukov coming back to life as well. They can just allow this to go over for a few seconds. They also need to make their Sonya rotate up as well as the Arthas. And now we just kind of have a little bit of a pause. Siva, I'll have to answer these questions afterwards. Sorry. Fight breaking out. We do have the Lunar Flare that will be connecting. That is going to be the Blessed Shield coming out as well to buy some time, but Pass Fan is going to be so low. The Massive Shove will be there in time as well just to save them. Old Pro going to be falling a little bit low. Going to have to pop that Avatar form. They're going to be stepping up with Dupe For You, but that is just going to be through the Shade of Mephisto. That is going to be the Consume Soul coming up, but no one going to be dying from that. Do have the Warden's Cage coming out. On top of it, Tyrande will be the next one. Crushing Jaws up to so many members. The Chomp is going to be there as well. Stukov will be going down. Joanna going to be the next one. Arthas on top of that. Isolation will be touched. Oh my god, Isolation going to be chased there, and that is also going to be the Maya going down. So much work being done, and they also pick up the Mephisto. An ace onto the enemy team, only losing their Tyrande, and that should be the first Triglav Protector for the members of Tickle Me Tassadar. I get your jokes now. Not obsing after that seafood answer. Oh no! We spinning now. We're winning. I want to see how long you can multitask. Thank you, I appreciate that. I thought you were slowly just making Caldor jokes. Like, do you exercise? Maybe cycling? Because that's what he does. I actually agree, Hemi Boy. Tickle Me Tassadar has really got their footing in game number 2, and I think this is the momentum they needed. Definitely, they have got a lot behind them. I like this play, though. A lot of teams will go for the top lane push. They go through the fort and try and get catapult pressure through top, but I like them just saying, you know what? No, we just ace their team. Let's just rotate to bottom. Let's open this up and make it harder for them to fight us on the C point. Meanwhile, Arthas will be in top lane trying to soak up for that 16. And they go ahead and grab the, they are going to be getting the lockdown onto this tower for a second. That is also going to be Shadowstock coming out from Tickle there. And now I'm just waiting. Are they going to be stepping up? Maiev with a nice Vault of the Warden at the last second to not get the slam damage there, and it just brings in the Trickle Protector for a hot second. Arthas will be getting the free fort in top lane, but unfortunately, that's just going to net them some catapults and some passive experience gain. That is also going to be the Trickle Protector going down. So passive experience gain in their favor, and they also have catapult pressure in top lane. This won't push them into that insane, like you can watch the top bar, it went up a literal sliver when they got that fort, but it's the passive experience gain that they're going to now be getting is the big factor in the situation. They'll be able to even up that 16 talent tier, and they need to be a little bit safe here, because if they chase this, they could fight and have a 16 advantage. But no, 16 to 16s. We reset kind of the map at this point. I wouldn't be too surprised to see a lot of the heroes go off, grab camps. Ooh. Bloody or not, maybe getting caught out here. I don't think they have the Iron Skin just yet. They used it a couple seconds ago. The chomp, or the Crushing Jaws are going to be coming out as well. Sonya going to be fighting Arthas in the backline over there, as the rest of the team is getting a little bit low on the side of Tickle Me Tassadar. Ammonia is going to be finding herself in a death situation that is also going to be Bickle, maybe a little bit too low, and they get the Lunar Flare out, but it's not going to be enough. Old Pro is going to be trying to get some damage out. They get the leap out, as we do have Sonya spinning to win their way out, and oh, Isolation get the bond onto them. Excuse me, on the Umbral Bind onto them. No connection onto the Howling Blast either, and now it's 16 to 17. They have evened up that experience gap at this time between the two teams. We're looking at like less than 1,000 difference between the two of them. No, I can do math. It's way more than that. It's 2,000 roughly. Anyways, camp though on the aggressive side going to be taken in favor for Pizza Hat. They're all going to be going back to help Murden with the top right camp, and we are just going to be having a couple members soaking mid, couple members soaking bottom, and top lane, they can pressure it up, but the thing is it's really not too far out there. So they're going to be... I was thinking they'd be going for their camp, but I think the Sentinel was just to see if they were doing it. Now there might be... Oh, actually, I like the note of that. The Elite. It says Elite over the support camp now, so you actually do know the difference. Tickle Me Test, I just need warm-up games. Nice Lunar Flare going to be coming out. No fight breaking out, but that is the Army of the Undead is going to be popped there. That's an 80-second cooldown that I don't think they're going to be wanting in this time. Now, if they take a fight, that is going to be beneficial in a sense. We do have a flight coming out. They're going to be trying to find their way in here. That is going to be the Tassadar under the backline. That is also going to be the Warden's Cage that allows Maiev to get out, as they are going to be getting the pulled in from the Umbral Bind. Meanwhile, the Biotic Emitter is going to be picked up here. Bloody or not is going to be stepping way too far forward. They will be falling, and they actually drop the turret camp as well. Thrall going to be going down. Tickles is so low. Isolation to go down as well. A 2-for-1 trade. They lose their turret camp, and they gain a Biotic Emitter. Pizza Hat sitting in a weird spot right now. What's up, Stark? Thanks for coming by. Top lane's got a camp pushing in. They've got 36 on Maiev, and they've got 20 on the Joanna. I think they've got enough time to clear their lanes and get set up to take one more fight over this. I think there's going to be one big fight over this point C, and that will determine who takes this and realistically pushes in quite a bit. Sonya popping the Wrath of Berserker. I can kind of agree with the Earthquake on that, Hemi, but the only thing for me is, like, I think the Sunder so far has been setting them up Because what they've been doing is they've been doing this kind of 3 up front and 2 flank at this point, and every single time from Tickle Me Tassadar, not every time, but the Sundering, every time they start to kind of envelop the members of Pizza Hut, they start to run away. And Sundering is a really, really good opportunity to pull them right back into that fight. Granted, I do see the benefit of having Earthquake, because then you could slow them and then just chase after them, and you also get the shield, or you get the healing for Thrall as well. But I like where this is sitting. We do have Pat's fan getting really low here. That is going to be them chasing that, and they do get the pick. That is going to be Consume Souls used as well. That's not the hero you want to be losing at this time, and they're trying to make their way out of this, and it's a bit risky. Overtime has ended. That Triglav Protector does come down. Warden's Cage coming out. The Sunder is going to be out as well. They're starting to chase this here. The Warden's Cage is saving so many members. Old Pro going to be diving forward. The Stormbolt does not connect. Meanwhile, Mephisto is in a bit of a bad spot, and this is exactly what I was talking about in draft. There's really no out for him at this time. All he can do is maybe shade a Mephisto, but they can already see that he's going to be just returning to that point. I cannot believe that he's living for this long. That's the crazy factor, that they're all chasing him. And he's just buying so much time, because there's only one person in the Triglav Protector, and he almost got the Sonya down to death. So they're able to whittle down the Triglav Protector to 72%. The entire team isn't there, and you're just getting the pilot version, or the pilot damage. You're not getting the gunner damage either. Old Pro somebody will jump in this, I am assuming. The gunner damage is like really, really big. I don't know why they're not utilizing that. $19 to $20 in levels. Sonya pushing top lane. Excuse me, clearing top lane. Triglav Protector just gonna be going in for the keep? No. You have Murden jumping in, so they are gonna be getting some of that extra gunner damage out, but this won't be getting the keep, and they're staying a little long to be in this spot. Nice Howling Blast will be connecting onto 1. I'm waiting, dude. No one's gonna be stepping up. They don't lose the keep. It was a really good defense. Top lane was pushed back by the Sonya. Even talent tier, though. That's a big factor in this, is that there's gonna be even talent tiers. And I do not know what the Crushing Jaws upgrade is. Oh my god. That's gonna be terrifying if they do land that Crushing Jaws. Just so everyone at home knows, because I don't. Old Pro may be getting caught out here. There's going to be the Blessed Shield coming out. The Crushing Jaws will be connecting onto so many members, and that is everybody so low. Stukov will be the first one to go down. They're looking at another isolation is getting chased out of here by the Sonya, and I think they should be able to get that kill. The Slam does go down. Maev is the next one to go. Ooh, that's a bad spot to be in. And Arthas is probably the next one. Mephisto going to be going down as well, and realistically, they should be running this through bottom and potentially... I don't know if this is end... Oh, a nice Howling Blast, but they still die. I don't know if this is end potential, but this is definitely keep. This is definitely. Mephisto's shenanigans saving the keep. That was, unfortunately, this time they cannot pull it out. I don't know. Do they have the opportunity for an end off of this? It's about 20-ish seconds for everybody. They've only got the Joanna. Yeah, they're going to go for it. They've got time. Yeah, this is doable. I think they're going to try and take us to a game 3. Huge indeed, Zool Rules. Yeah, Stukov's the first one going to be back. Christian Shaw's going to be going out onto to Joanna. They ignore her, and that's going to be game number 2. Going over to Tickle Me Tassadar. We get a game 3, team. We're going to be going into... You're mine now. Woohoo! I literally pull you into the screen to then say, you know what? Let's swap it up. Let's go ahead and show you what the map bans and picks were. So, if you missed it, you came to the stream a little bit late. Pizza Hut won the coin flip. They went ahead and banned out Tomb the Spider Queen. Dragonshire was the map ban of Tickle Me Tassadar. We have BOE was the first map chosen by Pizza Hut and won by them. We had Volskaya Foundry picked by Pizza Hut and lost by them. And now they pick Sky Temple, and we'll see what they're able to do with it. So pulling us back over into our draft. See that? We have a Mal'Ganis ban once again. No one likes the Mal'Ganis. Just a sad, sad day. No Mal'Ganis fun at all for us. And that's going to be Joanna being banned out. Okay. They don't really want to deal with that. Even though that was picked up by themselves, maybe it's just something they just don't want to fight into. Medivh will be banned out once again. Pretty much the standard bans coming up from Tickle Me Tassadar. They do not like dealing with the Mal'Ganis. They do not like dealing with the Medivh. Do they ban the Orphea here? I personally think Mal'Ganis is very spooky. I think it's just no one wants to go to nap time early. They want to keep playing in the games. And I think that's the plan. That's yeah. This makes sense to me, honestly. That Orphea play in that last game, very good. Just so very good. So many good crushing jaws. So many good just chomps. I love it. But now we get into the actual draft phase here. So Sky Temple, a large map. We often see a lot of high priority onto the... It's not Christmas. It's Christmas, not Spookyween. It's always Spookyween. Yes? Solo heal Abathur? Are they stealing strats? Because, like, I'll say this. The, oh, I keep wanting to refer to the HGC. You know, like... Thanks for the early birthday present, Blizzard. 3 days before my birthday. Thanks. No, I'm being a butt about it. All right, so the thing that I wanted to actually talk about here, Abathur and others like Dahaka, for example, is such a large map that having this passive soak across the map as well as being able to have global pressure, that's a big factor here. So being able to have Dahaka soak bottom lane and then being able to brush stalk into any situation, that's a big play for them. But they go ahead and pick up the Thrall and Mephisto themselves on the side of Tickle Me Tassadar. Okay. I'm wondering how this draft is going to shape up. They still need a solo laner. They still need a tank. They still need a support. They could go Abathur's full support. Medivh bans, TMT does their homework. I'm guessing there's a very good Medivh player on the set of Pizza Hut. Excuse me, I'm very burpy this evening. Trying to just not belch into the mic for you guys, but that is going to be the Decker Kane band out. They're trying to choke out those supports, and the way this is looking, I wonder if that's not the option for them. I wonder if they're going to go into solo support up there. Yeah, Kage, I agree. I agree too. I think this is going to be that. I think it's going to be solo support Abathur. This band, though. Garrosh once again. I think they banned it in the last game. I feel like they banned it in every game. Maybe. I can't remember off the top of my head. Okay. Toronto going to be picked up. Dahaka with them as well. They're still going to be needing a main tank. They're going to need to find some damage on top of that. Riot? I completely read that as like Rito. I was like, I don't know what Rito is. I'll have to look that up later. Arthas is going to be picked up with the Rainier, so they're going to be having some range damage with that. They're going to be giving him some pepper. We'll see what they go into at level 1 if they pair up with the Dahaka or the Arthas for some slows and stuns and such. Toronto actually as well. They could be going for that. That would make a lot of sense. This is where we'll see if we get the solo support Abathur, and I think they're discussing it themselves. I mean, I like the idea of them picking up just some like aggressive tanks. So like Murden would be really good. Yo, Stark.
Here you go. Hashtag charity.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for donating 400 bits for charity. That's so awesome of you. Just Stark, you're the best. If you are subscribed, just throw some like asthma pogs in chat or something. I'm completely distracted by that. That's so awesome of you. 400 shares in Blizzard. Ah! And then the white man's gonna be pick up. Yep, so Twitch chat, start rioting. We don't have a solo support Abathur. Rito indeed. Alright, let's see what we got here. Lunar to round it out. Even I'll throw pogs in chat. That was major pog. Thank you so much, Stark. That's so awesome of you. I don't like. I guess I'll ask this again, and I'll just throw this out to Twitch chat. Do you guys care if there's alerts during games? It's not something that I typically I'm just not sure if that's something that you want. Like, I remember back in the Nexus Gaming Series days, that was actually like one of the rules, kind of, just to turn off your alerts so you don't have those during the game. But I don't know if that's just like what people like. Do people want to see that stuff? I don't know. We'll find out. I'll leave that up to you guys. Let's go ahead and get into this. Game number 3. On the left-hand side, we are going to be having Pizza Hat up a game, trying to win it out themselves with Isolation on the Dahaka. Very good correlation there. Nice synergy. Pat's Fan is going to be on the Tyrande. I Dupe For You going to be dancing on that Rainer. Bloody or Not is going to be on the Arthas. And Nemnor is going to be on the Lunara. On the right-hand side, to give it a nice little worm right there, we're going to be having Tickle Me Tassadar trying to end the series with a win themselves, with Citron going to be on the Abathur. We will have Bickle on the White Mane. Old Pro is going to be on the Muradin. Monya is going to be on the Mephisto, and Nikki Centuro on the Thrall. Let's go ahead and we get into this, and we have Crash Lightning on the Thrall once again. Okay. I prefer no alerts in a game. Catch them after. Alerts can be distracting. I think it's clear not to have them. All right, 3 people voted. That's our democracy. I agree with you too. I wasn't sure if it was something that people wanted. I need to figure out with stream labels what the issue is, why I can't resend certain alerts, but I can resend other ones, because I don't want to I want to be able to resend follow alerts, but it's not doing it from my actual application. But we have enough talk about that. We have a game in front of us. This is a best of 3 series in a game number 3. Oof. We have an Abathur, who's actually going into some shielding here, so a little bit extra sustain. This is sorta a little bit of a double support composition, and in a sense, we'll see what the rest of the build is going to be here. Meanwhile, though, got some teams just kind of battling it out a little bit, and this is exactly what we typically see. Also, just the way that we're seeing these lanes kind of start to shape up. We do have that Dahaka in bottom lane, which is going to be offering a really, really good push. And then the other factor on top of that is they'll be able to burrow in to the mid lane or top lane shrine as needed. They don't need to worry too much about taking a long rotation. And the other thing, they went into the enhanced agility at level 1s. They're going to be looking to be able to NASCAR boost through all of these bushes. I guess maybe Formula 1 boost? I think Formula 1's a little bit better. The siege camp on the left-hand side is going to be picked up by the members of Pizza Hat. They'll send the Sentinel out, which will be scouting this out, and they know that they're not going for this. They can't really see. The Wisp, actually, from Lunara will show that they're going to be on this point. They'll get that kill onto it, but with that, they say, all right, well, we can grab the siege camp for ourselves. Bickle and friends are a little bit low here. Another thing to note, we're going to be having temples activate here in 50 seconds across the map, top and mid as the standard. Meanwhile, Dahaka in bottom lane with the help of the Siege Giants is going to be getting some decent work. I Dupe For You will be coming down here to siege into this as well. They're trying to get a ton of pressure. The other thing too is the Siege Giants are getting that uncontested pressure onto the fort, and it is contested at this time. But a lot of teams will honestly miss it. Like, I've been in quick match and I've missed it before. I'm like, wait, why is my fort at half health? Nice tongue drag going to be going on to Nikki Centuro. Not going to be connecting for a kill yet. 5-4 in levels. This game is moving really, really quick. Like, I was just like, I looked up and I was just like, whoa, these teams are really, really soaking up the experience and pushing out quite a bit, because this is not typically what I think we usually see teams fall around the 4 mark for this first objective, and no one stepping up too much. Lunara is in position to go ahead and work their way in for that top tower, or that top shrine. Excuse me, top temple. All the different map objective names. Arthas, though, will be collecting the midpoint. No one going for top just yet. They could leave that for the Dahaka. 6.5, and that exactly is going to be Isolation's job, just to get that brush shock into the top. And even if they don't get all of it, as long as they take away the majority of the shots, that's a big factor for them in that top lane. But they do want to fight over this mid lane. A little bit of setup, but no major kills, no major damage just yet. Ammonia's going to be stepping forward with that Shade of Mephisto, going to be also getting those skull missiles out on top of it. Old Pro will have that hat from the Abathur, and they're getting a lot of good damage out from this Lightning Nova. Bloody or Not is falling a little bit low here. They don't have any sort of Army of the Undead to stay alive, and this could be the death of the Arthas. The Lunar Flare doesn't connect either, and they end up getting the first kill of the game. They chase super deep for it. Meanwhile, top lane, they're getting a lot of value, and they've traded out. So 1 kill for... this is pretty even, the gain from both these Is that a banned Arthas mount? I do believe it is, but I did not catch it quick enough, and I realistically, like, I leave it to the teams. I did not know, like, I'm not even, yeah, that's winged Arthas. I think it's actually in the other games too, but my apologies. No, it doesn't really seem like anyone's I think there's a ruling basically, like, if no one really says anything in game, then yeah. And the unfortunate part is I usually try and catch it during draft, but since there are no icons that are animated anymore, it's hard to see what the skins are after. Because usually you'll see someone pick up like Mecha Muradin, and they'll change it right away. You can see them change it, or they'll change it after they do it. Like I've messaged it like, oh yeah, no, I was playing quick match and I just changed it. So I usually give the player the benefit of the doubt that I don't have to chase after them, but this is one of those situations where I probably should have. Doesn't seem like it's a complaint on either side just yet, or at all. But thank you. Yeah. I wasn't even looking out for that. I was just having a blast casting these games. Top lane though has some pressure. They are gonna be. This should be actually a fort in their favor. Abathur is gonna just have to back out of this lane. They do have the mule. It's only banned because HCC banned it anyways. Oh yeah. Rip. Top lane fort's going to be going down, so some extra passive experience is going to be going over in favor for those members. Take a look at that in just a second. Just want to show you some healing numbers as well, just to see what that Tyranda's putting out, as well as that Abathur, and on top of it, how much that white mane is doing. Tiny little Arthas. Arthas is a small little boy. Totally a little boy. he's a tiny little bat boy. We do have the next altar popping up in this bottom lane, 9 to 9 in levels. Well, 9.5. We're starting to see some decent experience trucking in favor for the members of Pizza Hut, and that fort, that passive experience gain that they're going to be getting, that 20%, is really going to do some decent work for them. Meanwhile, they do have the little mule getting to work in top lane, just trying to heal that tower up, and slow goings. Did mule like get nerfed, like unannounced or something like that? 10's on the cusp for the members of Pizza Hut. Let's see what they pick up. Leaping Strike for Lunara. We have the Hyperion. That is going to be the adaptation for Isolation. No Isolation from the Isolation player. No Sinja Ghost either. That will be the Hyperion coming out at this time, trying to work their way through this. Meanwhile, Tyranda's actually on that point as well, so they're getting value with this. They have the adaptation coming out from Isolation. Not going to be taking any damage. The Tongue Drag will not connect, but they do confirm the fort in bottom lane. Some more passive experience in their favor, as well as all skins legal now, pretty much. We are going to be having the stasis from, oh my god, the Durance of Hate as they literally come out of the burrow. Leaping Strikes are coming out. They're getting the damage out of Dahaka. And that's it. Like, we just reset. Like, no one else is going to be stepping up. Clemency coming out from Bickle, or excuse me, Inquisition coming out from Bickle. They don't chase us. If they had Sindragosa, they could chase us, just saying. But Arthas would probably also be dead if they had Sindragosa, so there's the other factor too. And I didn't note this, but we did have the Durance of Hate, we have the Centering from the Thrall, we have the Abathur with the Clone, Muradin will be having the Avatar form, and we have the Scarlet Aegis from the White Mane. Invisible Horse should still be banned, it's confusing. That's the reason for the bans in general. Absolutely, yeah, actually, yeah. Imagine Blizzard ending people's careers. It's pretty much what they did today. Top lane will be cleared out. They are going to be having the Wisp. Wait, it's not the up. Oh my god, it's not the Wisp upgrade, so they don't have vision on the Abathur. Hold on, do they have vision on the Abathur? I don't think they did. Oh, that would have been good. No, they have another Wisp going over there. Hold on. This is important. Oh my god, they can't find the Abathur. It's so good. Like, the one bush that they're not checking is the one bush that Abathur is in. Crazy. All right. Thank you so much, Kage. And he goes into that bush that was actually just scouted as well. So some really, really good plays coming out from this Abathur. All right. Let's see here. Mid lane is going to be just cleared out. They've got pressure going through top lane, pressure into bottom lane, double altar phase here. Dahaka's already in top. No one looks to be thrown over the boss just yet. And Abathur just trying to do as much as they can, body soaking top and trying to push it out. And also going to be leaving that lane as well. We do. I saw the Dahaka coming up, and I like the use of the Darkstorm there just to maybe get some damage and scout out that bush a little quickly. They're going to play this a little aggressive though. Huh. I'm sorry, but X-Ray. Okay, X-Ray, that was probably the best comment I've seen this at this point about today's news. Absolutely. Absolutely, I agree with that one. Bottom lane's got some pressure coming into it. They do have the top lane picked up by the Dahaka at this time, which will be shredding through the mid lane for it. They do have the burrow available. Mule is going to be trying to do some work, but unfortunately laser beams will be too much for that little SCV type-ish thing. Still holding out hope that SCV will be eventually a character. We can get SCV and like Overmind at the same time. That'd be kind of sick. I don't know how it's gonna work out, or maybe we just get like a overall StarCraft unit. Anyways, we can talk about that later. Bottom lane is gonna be actually top lane's already finished out, so they do have the opportunity to go ahead and get a brush talk into this if they do want to try and take a fight. 13-12, a little bit of a talent tier advantage for a hot second. Brush talk is gonna be coming in from the Dahaka. That is going to be the Sundering coming out as well. Tongue Drag will be connecting onto the white main. They go on to Pickle. The Scarlet Ace is there, but it's not going to be enough. There's also the Hyperion on top of that. There is going to be a lot of damage coming out onto these members. We also have the Starfall from the Tyrande just underneath all of that. They only lose their white main, and they move over to this temple, and they'll be able to take half of it easily. And that's going to be starting to shoot at keep front gates in the bottom lane. Meanwhile, top lane's got a lot of good pressure as well as a catapult right behind it. I don't think this will yield them a keep or anything, but it's definitely going to be pushing quite a bit. Bottom lane is going to have a little bit more pressure into it. Abathur's going to be doing as best they can. They should have a mule to be able to kind of counter some of the damage that went into that bottom lane. And now they're just sharking around this keep. There's going to be the mule coming down as well. Go, little mule, go. Boss is going for it at this point, and they know that this is happening. Abathur will have those mines out to note this. Bloody or Not is in the position to kind of slow them down. They start to disengage from this. This could be a little bit risky. They do have a lot of their abilities up. The Endurance of Hate is not... there it is. It's going to be coming out at this point. No one going to be... Old Pro going to be getting the Dwarf Toss in. That's going to be the Scarlet Aegis as well. Old Pro with the hat is going to be here, but Nemter is going to be the first one to go down. Lunara so low. They are going to be having isolation on that point, but the boss is going to be stolen away. They end up getting the boss pick on the side of Tickle Me Tassadar. That's huge for them. Can Nikki get the chain? Wait. Oh my god, I duped for you. I was about to say, whew. That was real risky. Meanwhile, though, bottom lane will have that boss pushing in. And they have the whole team with them. 3 members went down during that fight. Catapult pressure in bottom lane now. They are going to have to go back and deal with mid at some point. That is starting to amass, but Abathur is trying to make sure that top lane is getting pushed out as well. And that boss value in bottom lane is going to be quite a bit. 2 seconds left. Nice Hyperion at this time for a little bit of a disengage. They could fight in this realistically, and I think that's what their game plan is here. Or at least they're just running around in it for the time being. Abathur will be the first one to go down as the brush stroke from isolation catches the slug unprepared. And they get the boss cleaned out. They don't lose a keep, but that is a nice push-in and equalization into the bottom lane for catapult pressure. They don't have their Abathur, so they don't have any of that hat support. Lunar are going to have some leaping strikes on this, trying to find some of the lower level healthful heroes. The Endurance of Hate comes out, but it doesn't connect. Nikki Centauro's so low here. The Starfall is going to be out as well. That will be the Lunar, the first one to go down in this fight. So it's 1-for-1 technically at this time. Starfall still getting some decent damage out. Bloody or Not, very, very low. Gonna have to pop the Arm of the Undead. Old Pro gonna be diving in as well. Nikki Centauro gonna be chasing. That will be the Frostwolf to get some nice rooting there. They also do get the Lunar Flare. Dahaka trying to get the Tongue Dragon. It doesn't connect. That is also going to be the Siege Camp stolen away in favor for the members of Tickle Me Tassadar. But now we have a single Temple phase. Single Temple phase. 16-16. Death timers are really starting to get up there too. That's something that I need everyone to know, is that death timers are at that point where a death really means a lot of value for the team. They tried to get a couple seconds off of that. That will be getting them some decent value here. Now they step into the lane. Old Pro is going to be stepping up as well. Going to be trying to get the Stormbolt out. They're going to be looking for a kill here. A lot of damage going on to Raynor, and that will be the first kill in this fight. Oh my god, the Endurance of Hate going to be going out and spreading to so many members here. The Scarlet Aegis as well. They do get the Skull Missile out on top of it. Adaptation used on Isolation. They will get that, but Bloody or Not is going to get chased down, and Arthas will be going down. 2-for-0 trade. Lunar Flare will connect. Meanwhile, Abathur is going to be doing their best to de-push top lane. Body soaking that as well as pushing out some of those Locusts. And now bottom lane goes over easy for these members. I don't know if Ammonia will be able to do this by themselves. It might be a little difficult. At least if it was me playing, I'd struggle on it. But that is going to be the altar, or the temple getting some decent damage. Tongue Drag going to be coming out from isolation. I'm just going to be getting another poke onto them with the Thrall. Another thing to note, Skull Missiles haven't been finished, and Crash Lightning has not been finished. A lot of talents are just really on that precipice for fully stacked, and that's a big factor for some of these heroes. I mean, being able to have full brush stock, or full... Oh my god, I'm blanking on the name for his level 1, Enhanced Agility. Just that speed boost, being able to rotate through the map with that is a big factor for them, as well as being able just to have the piercing storm bolts from the Muradin. There's a lot of situations where they have good setup with Old Pro, and if they could get that initial storm bolt and the pass through, they could, the way that they're stacking on the side of Pizza Hat, they can really get a double lockdown and dive onto a couple of these members with the follow-up lockdown from White Mane, if I'm not mistaken, because she did take the 13 talent, which does, yeah, the Harsh Discipline. So they do have the double root. There's a lot of good, and then they've also got the Frost Wolf from Nikki Santaro and Sundering as well. Just there's so much good setup in lockdown. It's just we'll see how they play this out. Top lane though, bit of a brawl gonna break out fairly soon. Cleanse is gonna be used. They do start to step forward. Skull Missile will go out. The Durance of Hate will be connecting onto one. They're looking at Arthas here. That is going to be the Hyperion coming out as well. Starfall underneath it on just so much damage, but they disengage from all of it. They just step out of the circles. They wait for those things to pass, and now they can re-engage if they wanted. There is going to be Leaping Strike available. Do they go for it? No. We do also have a double Temple Phase coming up next. We'll see how they're going to be able to play this out. This is I noted this before during the last Temple Phase, but oh wait, hold on. Dahaka's going to be having the Brush Stalk at this time, maybe looking for Ammonia, but they actually end up picking up the Arthas here. The Tongue Drag will be connecting on to, I think, White Mane, and yeah, Bickle is in a bit of a bad spot, but the Tunneling Claws will start to get isolation out of here for a second. They do have some decent chase, but they are really full on health. They also, I think, pop their Essence. Tongue Drag for a second, and I think that's going to be Old Pro getting really low. Bickle going to be coming back, but it's not going to be quick enough. They do get the pick onto the Muradin. Shade of Mephisto going to be stepping forward, trying to get Pat's fan, but that won't work out. Dahaka goes down, feeding themselves, so a 2 for 1 trade. Only Muradin going to be going down, and now Abathur going to be body soaking that bottom. Hat pushing through mid. Oh no, they're just going to be pushing through bottom. Oof, rip Arthas. Yeah. Double Temple Phase. 20-19 in favor for Tickle Me Tassadar. And I think yeah, these should be taking out heaps, if I'm not mistaken. The gates are at least fairly low, but they're gonna trade these out. I was thinking with their 20 talent tier advantage, only one dead. Granted, yeah, they don't have a body without Abathur, but they do have the clone. It's interesting to me why they would go that route. Okay. Meanwhile, though, Raynor will be sharking their way down to get some Siege Giant pressure into bottom lane. Those Siege Giants will also yield them their level 20s. Oops, I meant to hit number 4. But yeah, we are getting some keep damage this time. Sentinel does go up into that top lane. Doesn't confirm the keep, but it definitely gets it low. Mid lane should be able to confirm this mid lane keep. Now we have consistent catapult pressure through mid. They want to chase this fight. Starfall comes out. That is the Hyperion as well. Durance of Hate will be connecting onto one. Lunara with the Leaping Strikes onto Bickle, but that is not going to be enough just yet. They get the healing, and they stay alive. Lunara goes down as well as Tyrande. Now they can move forward. Thrall, I mean, there's a clone of Thrall currently, and it doesn't matter if they lose the clone. It's not that big of a deal. That was an awesome play, but they did lose their mid lane keep. Consistent catapults through mid is going to be annoying. Abathur will be trying to push that out. They step over to Boss with these 2 kills. This is the smart play, honestly. They could go for more. If they do step up onto this, they could just let Bosch leash. Yeah, this is going to be the play. They get the cleanse. Old Pro doesn't have the avatar form. Another 48 seconds onto that one. Bloody or not, it seems to be the target here, but they disengage the boss for now. They're going to go back for it. Okay. I wasn't expecting them to go back for that boss because the death timers, they're not the lowest, and they're not going to invade this. Okay, they don't know that, but they're it's not shown that they're going to be invading it. So we have pretty much I wouldn't say a stalemate, but they're just like, all right, we're going to play this safe. We're not going to be going for anything too risky here. Boss left uncontested will maybe take down the bottom lane keep front gate, which I think has just been whittled down by the first one. I think it's just got a little bit of health left on it. The bottom lane on the side of Tickle Me Tassadar really needs to get cleared out. They do have the Abathur and the Mule as well. And now this comes down to our 20 to 20 fight, or who plays around the altars correctly, I guess. And also, I misspoke. I thought the bottom lane still had the keep front gate. It's just going to be keep, but you can see them. They are shredding through this boss. It is really not that big of a deal. It's going to get 2 to 3 auto attacks, and that is pretty much going to be all she wrote. As the boss goes down, takes a little bit of keep damage with it. Meanwhile, top lane is going to be cleared out fairly easily. This is... I keep looking across the map back and forth. Like, I try and predict it myself. I'm like, who do I think is going to take this game consistently as it goes on? I don't know. These fights are so back and forth. I do want to note, though, that Tickle Me Tassadar has taken 12 kills in this game. They have done an absurd amount of damage. Thrall with 60,000 hero damage. Rainer, not too far behind, about 55,000. Kung Drag is going to go out onto Nikki Santaro. That is going to be the cleanse as well. That is going to be the Hyperion on top of it. Starfall going to be able to do a couple of members. Murder going to pop that avatar form. That is going to be the clone coming out on top of it all as well. Whoopsie. They're going to be trying to just find someone here. I do for you is getting so low, but the Shade of Mephisto ends at this time. Patsfan seems to be the next one that's going to be chasing here. Isolation so low, and that's going to be the Dahaka going down. Nomter with just like, I saw like 10 health at one point. Oh my god, Ashley getting out of here with just barely anything. Mephisto's going to go over to the right, to the top lane temple. That's going to be starting to whittle down this top lane keep, and that should confirm one keep. If they get both of these, I don't think it's game. It could be game ending, actually. No, they've still got a mid lane keep front gate. I think they should be fine. The fort might, or the core might lose some shielding, maybe a little %, but I don't expect it to be too much here. Now we are going to be having... I don't, like, how do you play this at this time? You've lost all 3 of your keeps during that last engagement. Your core is going to be taking... It's going to be taking some damage here. They've already got the major shots off from the top lane. Mid lane still has a 8th left in it. This thing's good. They're going to be losing some decent core health here. And they don't have their Dahaka. Now, granted, Dahaka can burrow in, so they could go ahead and move up a little bit more aggressive. Like, Dahaka could have burrowed in, and they could have pushed in for that fight. He could have looked for the flank somewhere in this upper right-hand position. But that's not going to be happening. They play it safe. They just go ahead and get the clear into the top lane, clear into the bottom lane. 44% on their core. If there is a Semiro, I would expect it just to rush down mid and just body this core, but that's not the case. We don't have a Semiro in this game. Oof. It's getting tighter and tighter, and the one thing that we have to look at here is the value that's coming from Mule. There's a lot of things that have been kind of paused here, and I do like... I like when teams pick up Abathur on this map, and also... Oh, nice use of the Tunneling Claws here, but Isolation might be in a horrible... Oh, the... Sundering is actually going to save them from the Durance of Hate. 2 heroics used there. But hey, they get the pick on the Dahaka, and that allows them to play this even more aggressive. Sorry, I'm just noticing, is it not updating how many kills they've got? Is there broken UI? And no, it's 14. Oh, maybe I must have misread it earlier. Maybe I said it was like 12 kills or something. Either way. No Semiro. I agree. Whenever there's no Semiro, I'm a sad boy. Okay. Let's see here. Catapult Pressure, which is being pushed up by Abathur in bottom lane. He did go for that that symbiote at level 20. I don't know the name of it off the top of my head, but it is the double hat. It's Hive Mind, excuse me. Hive Mind on that Abathur, so it allows them just to have the double hat, which is going to be really, really beneficial. It's going to mimic the abilities that he casts onto a second hero within a certain range, which is just, that's nice to have. Also, I don't know this talent. Where's the Wicked? Okay. Okay. I didn't know that talent icon off the top of my head, and I'm just like, that's a new one for me. Doesn't look like we're seeing anything too out of the ordinary for a lot of these teams. Enhanced Starfall. We're gonna have an Enhanced Durance of Hate. Blink for Thrall. All right. They wanna just win this through objective. They all put themselves on top lane. Durance of Hate is going to be coming out, though. They are going to be connecting onto one. They are going to be popping the Hyperion. Lunar is the first one to go down. They follow that up with a kill onto Tyrande. Bloody or Not is in a bit of a bad spot, and they start to get the chase onto that as well. The Hyperion is already past them. Abathur Hat doing a lot of good work. That is going to be the root coming out as well. And with 3 dead, they're already rushing towards the car. There's no point for them to go for the objective. Old Pro is trying to pad their stats a little bit and get this kill onto Isolation. Unfortunately, they have the Tunneling Claws, and I think I think this is going to be Tickle Me Tassadar with basically the reverse sweep in this best of 3 series. They do get the tongue drag onto Nikki Santaro. They're going to try and get out of here. I think they should have the blink available as well, but that doesn't matter as they are going to be taking this. GG. Well played. Bruh. What's Heroes Hype gonna do? I need someone to support, and Heroes Hype seems to be right. You can support me. Creepy, thank you for coming by. Heroes Hype, yeah, there's a ton of amateur scenes. There's Heroes Lounge, there's Nexus Gaming Series, there's Heroes Hype Amateur Series, there's /GG that's coming out, so there's a lot of leagues that are going to be out there. I've had this discussion with Cat Peach a little bit, and we both kind of landed on the spot where, like, I think this is going to turn into House Smashes, where, like, it's just going to be, like, if the community wants there to be a league and there wants to be competitive play, it's going to have to be on the community. And that sucks, but at the same time, I'm not going anywhere. Like, I will continue to cast games and do as much as I can for the amateur scene within my own realm of ability. Old Pro, yo! Sorry, let me find out who is going to do an interview. All right, I'm going to find out who wants to do interview, and then I'm going to jump over into that channel into a channel in a second. Also, really quickly, just major shout out to Kage. He's in chat as well. He was the one doing all the observation tonight. Shout out to him. He's an awesome dude. I really appreciate him coming in and doing the observation for me at the last second, so that way I can pretty much just cast. I can do both, but it's so much easier if I can just literally focus on what's happening around me instead of having to, like, move the camera and stuff. So it's just super cool of him to do that for me at the last second. That's major shout out. You sat next to me at BlizzCon? To me? That ANZ guy? Wait, are you talking to me? The community can make it or break it. Absolutely. Amateur stuff was great before HGC and still is going to be great. Absolutely, I agree with that. You sat next to me, that ANZ guy. The only thing, I guess the only issue is my entire BlizzCon was me running around with a camera and just, like, trying to get interviews and stuff. So I absolutely, like, I'm sorry if I don't remember you. I'm so sorry. Just one an interview room here, please. All right. I don't know. Kage, I am going to be jumping over to the Heroes Lounge server for an interview, but thank you once again for the observation. All right, let me jump over to the interview room, deafen myself and such, and we'll get them in here in just a second. Oh, Ishin. Oh, I know exactly. Yeah, no, we watched, we were watching the, Team Liquid game. It was like the final day, and I sat next to you and someone else. I can't remember. But we'll get to that in a second. At this moment, I'm going to be joined by Tickle. How you doing in that reverse sweep?
Pretty good. How about you, Bahamas?
Your tone says it all. Like, that sigh of relief. Like, how does it feel to, you lose the first game, and it's a butcher game too, and then you come back and take game 2 and game 3?
Yeah, game 1 was rough. Our battlefield's a bit rusty. We ended up running some heroes that we don't run that often. The Sylve, mostly, with the rework. Something we don't have that much practice on. We wanted to try it, see how it went. Could have gone better. Didn't work the best, but we regrouped. Game 2, game 3 went smoothly according to plan.
That I gotta say, these games were so good. Now let's talk a little bit about. I'm curious. Every game you banned Mal'Ganis. Any particular reason why?
That is honestly, we don't have that much experience A, playing with him, or B, against him. Mm-hmm. So he's just kind of that hero that we're like, we don't want to deal with it right now, but we've set up, like, okay, we're going to work with him this coming week so that in our coming games, we're ready to go. It's a ban if we need it, but if not, we can bust it out or play against it.
That was like, it's a hard here. Like I also like I mostly question teams on it because I'm like I never get to see it in competitive play. So I'm just like, what's the reasoning? Why doesn't anyone want to play it? Like I'm so pumped to actually cast it, but I never get to because teams are just like we just don't have data against him, and that seems to be kind of the overall. Twitch just saying because he broke it. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like. There are games where like I've played with him, like when I was getting him to 5 in quick match and just like learning his basic kit and stuff. I was going through it and I was just like, this dude, like in some situations, this dude busted. Like, it's not every comp, but his Q is being the fell claws being able to have that up stun for a second. It's so beneficial because you can use it as an engage, disengage, all like mid fight. It's such a good talent. But let's go back to your games, Sky Temple. You guys came into this game and it was an Abathur early, and it was I wouldn't say a little rocky at first, but you really started to get your footing around that 10. Was it a specific talent tier that really did it for you guys? Like it just brought that Abathur into the clone realm so that way you could actually fight 5v5, or was it more or less just you got a little momentum and you really started going from there?
It's really hitting that 10 talent tier that lets us bring the Abathur online. The clone obviously helps, but some things is like the Durance of Hate from the Mephisto always made plays there, and the Sunders were always amazing. But it was really, we knew early game with the Abathur it's going to be a bit tough, but we trusted that we could hold on, and when we hit that late game, start to build momentum. And what really helped us there was that fight on boss. I think that's what really turned the game around.
Oh yeah, that is true. That was a big play for you all to take that boss and absolutely, I guess, body with it. That was that was a big turnaround for you all. These games were so much fun to cast. I had an absolute blast with just the drafts you guys brought. The fights were really just so on point from everybody. It was just major kudos to all of you. But before I let you go out of all of this, do you want to give any shout outs?
Yeah, sure. Shout outs go out to Pizza Hat. You guys were great to play against. Always loved 3-game series. The tighter it is, the better. And shout outs go out to my team. Nikki Santoro, Old Pro, Serenian, Amiona, Shiba. You guys are all great players. Pleasure to play with you guys, and we shall see where the future wind takes us, and time will tell, but it's always great. Awesome, and thank you to you, Bahamut. It was a pleasure having this game cast.
No, I mean, you guys said you had a game tonight. I didn't pick up anything. Perfect. That's the easy way to do it. Just get me when I haven't casted something that day. But no, these games are so much fun. I really I had such a good time with this, and I really can't wait to see you guys further down the Heroes Lounge season.
Yeah, happy to start out with the 3-0 record, and we are setting up our next match for this coming week, and I believe it's against Just Press All.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll have to be on the lookout for that. Maybe before I go on my vacation. Hopefully. But no, thank you so much for the interview. Thank you so much for the games. This was an absolute blast, and have a great night.